So, anybody that ever rocked a mohawk is a fucking clown. We all know this. Anybody rocked a mohawk.
You want to see clowns? You want to see clowns? Gervontae, you're the fucking clown, buddy. You're the fucking clown, Gervontae. Any man who puts his hands on a woman is the clown. I got you a...
Jake Paul has just dropped a bombshell in the boxing world, vowing to deliver one of the most talked-about knockouts ever against Gervontae Tank Davis. Picture this high-stakes showdown heating up even before the first bell rings. Paul isn't holding back. He's got his sights set on making history in the ring. This isn't just trash talk. It's a full-on declaration of war from the YouTuber turned fighter, who has built his career on big swings and bigger moments. At a packed press conference on Monday, Paul stood tall, microphone in hand, and laid it all out. "I'm going to knock out Tank Davis," he said, with that signature confidence that either fires people up or makes them roll their eyes. He didn't stop there. Paul called it straight. This knockout would be one of the most viral ones the sport has ever seen. Think about that for a second. In a world where fights go viral faster than a cat video, Paul wants his punch to break the internet. He's talking about a moment so explosive that it'll have millions hitting replay, sharing clips, and debating it for weeks. Why the big hype? Well, this fight is shaping up to be a clash of styles, personalities, and everything in between. Paul, the showman from the social media scene, steps in against Davis, slick southpaw, with a reputation for ending fights quick and clean. The rules dropped recently, and they're designed to keep things intense. 10 rounds, each 3 minutes long, with a clear winner on the line. No draws, no excuses, just pure action until someone hits the canvas or the scorecards decide it. Paul's vow came right after the rules got announced, and you could feel the electricity in the room. Reporters leaned in, cameras flashed, and Paul's team nodded along like they knew this was coming. He painted a picture of the finish, describing how he'd catch Davis off guard with a power shot that no one sees coming. "Keep your cameras ready," he warned the crowd, almost like he was directing his own blockbuster scene. It's classic Paul turning a sports event into a spectacle, blending the grit of boxing with the flash of entertainment. But here's where it gets even more intriguing. Davis didn't exactly fire back with fire. Sources close to the negotiations say Tank seemed more focused on the fine print than the fireworks. During that same press conference, he pushed back on one key detail: the weight limit. Promoters set it at 195 pounds, a number that gives Paul some room to bulk up without going too wild. Davis, though, wasn't thrilled. He called it out right there, questioning why it wasn't tighter, like closer to his natural fighting weight. It's a smart move, tactical even, because every pound could mean power in the ring. This back and forth isn't just noise. It's the fuel that's making this matchup must-see TV. Fans are already buzzing online, breaking down footwork, predicting paths to victory, and placing bets in their heads. Paul's knockout promise amps it all up, turning what could be a standard bout into a potential legend maker. Imagine the roar of the crowd if he lands at stadiums shaking, highlights looping endlessly. Or flip it. If Davis turns the tables, it could quiet the doubters who've questioned Paul's path for years. As the build-up continues, both camps are in full grind mode. Paul's been hitting the gym hard, posting clips of heavy bag sessions that look like they're from an action movie training montage. Davis, ever the technician, has been sharpening his defense, that elusive head movement that's frustrated bigger punchers before. The fight's slated for later this year, giving them months to simmer this rivalry into something unforgettable. Promoters are eyeing big venues, maybe even Las Vegas under the lights, where the energy matches the stakes. What makes Paul's vow stand out isn't just the words, it's the why behind them. He's not content with just stepping in the ring. He wants to redefine it. In his mind, knocking out Davis isn't about settling a score. And in a sport that's seen its share of bold claims, this one feels different. It's got that underdog edge mixed with over-the-top ambition, the kind that pulls you in, whether you're a diehard fan or just tuning in for the drama. Let's talk reactions for a minute, because no big announcement happens in a bubble. Boxing insiders are split down the middle. Some legends in the game see Paul's confidence as a red flag, warning that Davis's speed and power could end things before they start. Tank doesn't play, One veteran trainer put it plainly after the presser. Others, though, respect the guts. They point to Paul's record, undefeated in his pro bouts, so Farhan say he's earned the right to talk big. Social media is a wildfire right now, with memes flying about Paul's viral KO line, edits splicing it with old highlight reels, and polls asking who crumbles first. Even the rule tweaks are sparking chatter. Those 10 3-minute rounds? That's longer than some of Davis's past scraps, meaning endurance could play a huge role. Paul's got the height and reach to keep things at range early. But Davis thrives in the pocket, slipping shots and countering with heat. The no-winner rule, wait, scratch that, there's a winner means. Judges will have their say if it goes the distance, adding another layer of strategy. Fighters have to pace themselves, pick spots, and avoid the early trap of going all out. Paul's team knows the spotlight's on them too. His co-promoter, a sharp operator in the biz, backed the vow with a grin, saying it fits the entertainment side of combat sports. They're banking on the viral angle to sell tickets, stream views, and merch. Davis's side, more low-key, is letting action speak quiet workouts, focus stares into the camera. But don't sleep on Tank. His silence so far feels like the calm before a storm. As we edge closer to fight night, every sparring session, every interview clip feeds the frenzy. Paul's knockout pledge hangs over it all like a challenge flag thrown down. Will he back it up with a highlight reel finish? Or will Davis remind everyone why he's called Tank? Either way, this is boxing, at its raw, Stu Warriors. One ring and a promise that's got the whole world watching. Shifting gears a bit, let's peel back the layers on how we got here, because no rivalry pops up overnight. Jake Paul burst onto the scene a few years back, fresh from the Disney Channel and Vine videos. But with a fire to prove himself in the squared circle, he started with exhibitions against retired MMA stars, then pivoted to pros. Stacking wins against folks who'd been in the game longer. Each fight's been a statement, drawing eyeballs and critics in equal measure. Paul's built an empire around his own promotion company, massive followings, even a cruise ship event. But whispers linger. Has he faced the elite yet? Enter Gervontae Davis, the Baltimore product who's been dismantling opponents since his amateur days. Nicknamed Tank for his unyielding style. He's got a shelf full of belts across weight classes, with knockouts that look effortless. Davis turned pro young, climbed fast under a top trainer, and became the face of a new wave in boxing, fast, flashy, and ferocious. He's defended titles against all comers, always with that cool demeanor that hides a killer instinct.
Our losses?
Rare. And even those fueled comebacks that shut doubters up quick. Their worlds collided through mutual connections. In the fight game, promoters sniffing big money, social media crossovers, and that endless hunt for the next mega event. Talks heated up over the summer, with weight classes debated, dates floated, and egos tested. What started as what-if chatter turned real when contracts hit desks. Now, with Paul's vow echoing, it's personal. Davis has hinted in past chats that he sees this as easy work, a payday with a side of statement. Paul views it as his breakthrough, the fight that silences the gimmick label for good. In the bigger picture, this matchup spotlights boxing's evolution. It's not just about punches anymore. It's stories, brands, and global reach. Paul's brought in younger crowds, filling arenas with fans who stream more than they subscribe to pay-per-view. Davis represents the purest technical mastery wrapped in street-smart edge. Together, they could draw numbers that rival the heavyweights of old.
I won.
Things clear. Paul's knockout promise has lit the fuse. Training camps are in overdrive, with Paul's squad drilling combos for that viral moment and Davis's crew simulating the chaos. Nutritionists tweak meals, strength coaches push limits, and mental prep keeps egos in check. Every skipped rope, every shadow box shadow feels like prep for destiny. Fight week will crank it higher stare-downs, more pressers, maybe a face-to-face that nearly boils over. Fans will dissect every angle, from glove sizes to corner strategies. And when the lights dim and the anthem plays, it'll be down to heart, skill, and that one shot Paul swears is coming. Boxing thrives on these moments, the vows, the doubts, the what-ifs. Jake Paul's bold call against Gervontae Davis, it's got all that and more. Whether it ends in lights out glory or a gritty decision, this one's etching itself into the books. Stay tuned, because in the ring, promises like this either shine or shatter. In either way, They make 4 stories we'll tell for years. Wrapping this up, it's worth noting how these two embody the sport split soul. Innovation versus tradition, hype versus heritage. Paul's journey from screen to squared circle mirrors a generation chasing dreams across lines. Davis's rise from city streets to world stages echoes the grind that built legends. Their collision, perfect storm, brewing with Paul's vow at the center. So, as the countdown ticks, grab your popcorn or your gloves and watch close. Jake Paul says knockout incoming. Gervonta Davis says bring it. The ring will settle the score, and we're all front row for the show. The latest on this brewing blockbuster, bold words, big stakes, and boxing at its unfiltered best.